Abercrombie, the Coalition. Thank you so much for speaking to me. This was beautiful and such an emotional journey. And I want to talk about the vocal emotional journey. It seems like it's kind of like a mix of programmed voice with that spontaneity as Roz continues to grow. Can you talk about those kind of two defining voices?
Yeah, so the journey that Roz goes on is a journey of self-discovery. She's finding herself in this movie. And so I was keen to reflect that in the vocal performance. What are the ways in which I could show the evolution of her character through how she expresses her voice, expresses herself vocally. So I was inspired by AI voices like Alexa and Siri for where she starts off. She's just relentlessly positive and this optimistic programming, and then as she adapts to this wild environment and to the animals and the behaviors of the animals, she takes on some of those qualities as because she's a mimic and she's able to take learn from what she sees, and in so doing she develops a more nuanced, warm, textured voice that is closer to mine. And we wanted it we it was a lot. It was a workshop, a work in progress. We tried a whole lot of things, but in the end, what I love about what we experience is that it's a subtle change over time, and we only really see the difference when we meet the other robots.
There was a beautiful collaborative effort that was in this movie. Can you talk about the input of kind of the narrative impact that helps drives the story? Because it's not just Roz, it's everyone coming together to accept Roz.
Yeah, I guess well, this story, what we're going for is the power of adaptation and influence. Roz influences the animals in her life as they influence her. And what we see is a success story about evolution and change. Like the idea that a foreigner can come doesn't always have to be a threat, and it doesn't always have to mean in the annihilation of your life or lifestyle. I feel like this is a story about these two very different entities, nature and technology, enriching each other's lives.
Wonderful. What I love also with that is there's this beautiful kind of animation style that's a part of the movie. I wanted to know, does art, when it comes to the actual storyboarding, does that influence the personality of Roz and that softness and warmth that you bring?
You know, it is a symbiotic relationship. Animation and what animators do is magic to me. I don't understand it. Like my brain just can't compute how they do this. And then they make it move and they make it mean something and they touch us with their gestures. It's all magic to me. But in the process, it's a long process, and it starts with me performing my bit, and then the animators launch their animation. And then as we move on, I get some sense of what they're doing, and so it becomes a little bit more back and forth, and one is informing the other, and you can't really figure out what the origin point was. Um, which I think is lovely, because at the end of the day, this is truly collaboration, you know? Roz is made up of my performance and the animation and the sound design, the music composition, and ultimately Chris's vision, Chris Saunders, the director. Yeah, that's what I say to that.
Well, you did a wonderful job, and I really love how it's the growth of a parent, essentially. It's about
Yeah.
parenthood and what both characters give each other. So thank you for giving us your gifts in this movie.
Thank you very much, Dana. Take care.